Hey, Stephanie, I think we better warn the listeners today.
About what, Ryan?
Well, if they don't want to know how to level up a standard vacation, then they probably shouldn't listen to this episode.
Hold on, Ryan. I thought we were just talking about a Rhine River cruise today.
No, this is about the Rhine River cruise, but it's a wait, there's more type of experience.
Well, Pizza Pals, I don't know what Ryan has all cooked up, but if you want a slice of whatever he's talking about, you better stick around.
Welcome back to One Slice at a Time, the podcast where we talk travel one slice at a time. I'm Ryan Joy, a travel advisor specializing in large group travel, especially university alumni and organizations that just want to bring everybody together.
And I'm Stephanie Pakosta, a travel advisor specializing in big multi-generational family vacations. I help families make memories that everyone actually wants to remember.
Last week, we went through Disney's Aulani Resort with a fine-tooth comb. If Hawaii is on your someday list, you're going to want to go ahead and give that episode a listen.
For sure. And this week, we're headed back to Europe to talk about the itinerary that is often people's very first river cruise.
That's right. We're going northbound from Basel, Switzerland to Amsterdam, Netherlands through the UNESCO World Heritage Rhine Gorge.
But you said, wait, there's more.
And there is. Should I spill the beans now?
Well, I am co-hosting this episode and I have no idea what you're talking about, so that would be great.
All right, fine. Okay, as Stephanie mentioned, a Rhine River cruise from either Amsterdam to Basel or Basel to Amsterdam is often the first itinerary that people consider when doing a river cruise. So I have an amazing opportunity where you can join me in November of 2027. The dates are November 13th through the 20th aboard the brand new, hasn't even been released yet, coming out this spring, AmaFiora.
Ooh, that is newsworthy.
And that's not even everything, because this isn't just your ordinary enchanting Rhine River cruise itinerary. I chose a special themed sailing. So join me next November for the celebration of beer on the Rhine River.
All right, Pizza Pals, this is shaping up. Let's slice into this itinerary and make sure Ryan hasn't overdone it and burnt the crust.
All right, so this sailing starts in Basel, goes northbound to Amsterdam. So Basel, Switzerland is a really cool place. You go into the airport there and it's like, while you're in Switzerland, if you were to make a left, you'd be in France, and make a right, you'd be in Germany, but you're actually in Switzerland. So a very cool place to start. And you could fly to Zurich or you could visit Lucerne beforehand.
Mhm.
And then, so we embark from Basel, and then our first stop is in Breisach, Germany. This is the gateway to the Alsace. The Alsace region is like the Rhine River actually divides Germany and France. But over the years, like this part was France and now it's Germany, and this part was Germany and now it's France. So it would kind of change back and forth all the time. And so the people there just refer to themselves as Alsatian. So it is the Alsace. So the first few ports are going to be in this Alsace region. But in Breisach, this is AmaWaterways. So the AmaWaterways, you get a choice of several different excursions that you can pick from at no extra cost.
That are
which is,
all included. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So here you could do a hike through the Black Forest. You could go cycling through vineyards, or you can visit Colmar, which is a traditional Alsatian town, almost the same as it was in the 16th century. And one cool thing about Colmar is that you may see a replica of the Statue of Liberty there, because that is where the sculpture was from.
Oh, that's very interesting to be in Colmar and then see the Statue of Liberty. I think that if you weren't prepared for it, it would definitely be shocking, right?
Yeah. I've seen the Statue of Liberty. For some reason, it pops up in different places. So, but yeah, you would not be expecting to see it
I've seen it in Vegas.
Yeah. And I've seen it in Tokyo. So like, you can, so we both need this. So we've seen it in North America. We've seen it in Asia. We need to get Europe out of the way here. So, all right.
That's right.
So you're finished up in Breisach and you're going to head north up the river and you're going to come to Strasbourg, France. Okay. So we were in Breisach, Germany. Now we're across the other side of the river. We're in Strasbourg, France. Breisach was the gateway to the Alsace. Strasbourg is the
Mhm.
gem of the Alsace. So here, there's lots of government activities in Strasbourg. It is the capital of the Alsace region. So you very much, again,
Mhm.
are going to have both French and German flavors due to the border location. And here, same thing. Many excursions you can do. You can do another guided bike tour, shop for silk scarves if that's something you'd like to do, or you can take a guided walking tour into the UNESCO World Heritage La Petite France location, where they have like these half timbered houses. Really cool, very picturesque. It's hard to describe in podcast form, but very beautiful
Right.
buildings here. But there's also a cathedral in Strasbourg that has an astronomical clock. So if you happen to be in the neighborhood of this cathedral while the time is going to
Mhm.
switch from 1 hour to the next, you can pop in there and you
Right.
can see like all the movements and stuff from the clock. So it's a
Wow.
really cool opportunity. A lot of people know if you've been to Europe with me, I am a one church per trip
Mhm.
person because if you don't set limits, you can be in a church 6 times a day.
A
So
church every
yeah.
day.
So
Yes.
I like
Yes.
it when the church has a gimmick like this where there's something to go in there.
Something interesting.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I know I would definitely be shopping for some silk scarves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bringing home some souvenirs for everyone.
Yes. Yes. So also the ship stops in Ludwigshafen. And when you're there, the thing to do is to go to Heidelberg. And Heidelberg is going to
Okay.
be a little bit of a bus ride away. It's on the Neckar River. So it's not, so you go to see a different river from the Rhine. And the main attraction in Heidelberg is the beautiful red sandstone Heidelberg Castle. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Definitely the first castle, but not the last castle you'd see on this trip.
Mhm.
Apparently, also in Heidelberg, you know me, listen, we're going to talk about food and snacks on this. Because
Yes, we are.
we're going on a trip. That's what we're going to be talking about.
Guaranteed.
So in Heidelberg, they're very well known for gummy bears. And that's pretty interesting. But like if you're vegan or something like that, you typically can't eat
Mhm.
bears. They've got you covered there. And then also they're known for chocolate kisses. Apparently there is like a legend that the patrons would fill up the cafes and they'd fall in love with the waitresses but the waitresses would be the shop owner's daughters, so they would have to sneak messages inside these kisses to the waitresses. So apparently these little maybe that's why they're
Somehow that
called
sounds
kissing.
familiar.
Yes, there you go. So the next port is Rüdesheim, and Rüdesheim is a small little town surrounded by vineyards. So the excursions here are going to combine the active with the relaxed. You can do a gondola
Yeah.
tour over the vineyards, which concludes with a wine tasting. I think that's really cool.
Mhm.
The wine of the region is Riesling. So if you
Mhm.
happen to be from upstate New York, you know Riesling well. It is
Mhm.
it's the home brand here in Rüdesheim. But you can also hike through the vineyards if you don't want to take the gondola, or you can again take out the bikes. I mentioned bikes a few times because AmaWaterways actually has bikes on the ship. So
Mm.
they've got like 40 of them or
Right.
something like that. And they're not
Yes.
e-bikes. You've got to pedal them, but they're available. So they do
We gotta
incorporate that into
talk.
their excursions. Talk,
We
talk,
need to
talk.
talk to AmaWaterways.
To get e-bikes. Yeah. Yeah. Imagine
Yeah.
they'd
Ooh,
be booked up all the time if it was just e-bikes. But,
this knee cannot handle that much biking on those kind of hills in Europe.
well, the other thing, Stephanie, you may not want to take the bikes out anyway, because you certainly will want to have the Rüdesheimer coffee while you're here. It is a blend
Oh,
of
man.
ah, it's a blend of brandy and coffee. They add a sugar cube and
Mhm.
some milk, all very kind of normal stuff so far. But then they light it on fire. So very cool
What
thing.
a way to start your morning.
I, yeah, I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but you can bet that I'm going to have one or
You're
six
gonna
of
have to
these
try this.
Rüdesheimer
Yeah.
coffees. Yeah, for sure.
So now we're on to the main event, right?
Yeah, that's right. The UNESCO World Heritage Rhine Gorge, where again, we're doing a podcast here, so not having a picture for you to look at is doing the Rhine Gorge an
Right.
injustice. But what's cool about sailing through the Rhine Gorge, you'll be doing it during the day, And the cruise managers from AmaWaterways, which have an incredible impact on your cruise in general, are going to actually go up
Right.
to the captain's nest thing, and they're going to have a microphone
Right.
and they're going to narrate the trip through the Rhine Gorge. So they're going to be pointing out things over here and over
Yes.
there, what's important, what the
Mm-hmm.
historical context is. You're going to see 40 different castles as you sail through the Rhine Gorge.
Stop
So
right there.
yeah,
40 in
that's
the
right.
afternoon that you're sailing through the Rhine Gorge. 40 castles. That is
Yeah.
amazing. That's got to be a record.
Yeah. Well, and you might think sailing through the Rhine Gorge, are you going to actually get to experience a castle? Are you going to get to go to a
Mhm.
castle? Or is it just looking at it from the river? Well, of course you're going to go to a castle. You're going to go to Neck Castle. It'll be an exclusive experience
Yes.
just for AmaWaterways. What's neat about this particular castle is it was like the last refuge of the Knights Templar when they were expelled from the
Oh.
church. So it's
Mm-hmm.
got that little historical context. Queen Victoria visited the castle, so there is this giant portrait of her there. And also for Disney fans, there is not a Haunted Mansion tie-in here, but I want to use the Haunted Mansion as to describe what occurs. There's a scene in the Haunted Mansion where you go through the parlor and there are these
Mhm.
busts and they watch you as you go through. So
Right.
the eyes are moving. There's a portrait of the castle owner in here that seemingly does the same thing. It is not like a
Interesting.
Disney magic on it, but you walk into the room with that portrait and you feel like his eyes are always on you. So pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, guys, before we sail any further down the Rhine,
Stephanie and I want to remind you that we are really travel advisors. It's what we do every single day.
so whether you're planning a quick weekend recharge, a family vacation, or a trip you've been talking about for years, we are here to help. We use our expertise to help you choose the right cabin on a river cruise like this, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be in a balcony cabin sailing through the Rhine Gorge. We're going to help you pick the right river cruise brand for your trip, and we can help you pick the right itinerary and the right time to go.
Yeah. And when you listen to this, we can talk about this itinerary intelligently in this much detail, and then also pivot and talk about AmaWaterways in detail, which we will in a few minutes,
Right.
because we have invested time. We go to the
Right.
the annual River Cruise Expo where we tour all these ships.
Mhm.
We have done these sailings before, and Stephanie and I listened to webinar after webinar, after YouTube video, after short talk,
Education.
like,
Yes.
yeah, it is. And our business partners love river cruising and they've been on 30 million
Yeah.
of them. So all that's to say, we have a lot of experience when it comes to these types of products. So
Mhm.
if you're interested in ever doing a river cruise, then we can help you. So let's talk
Absolutely.
about pizza though.
Please.
It wouldn't be an episode of One Slice at a Time if we didn't talk a little bit about some pizza. And
Let's do that.
I don't have one on this itinerary, at least not yet, that I'm ready to point to. Because
Mhm.
I did Amsterdam earlier this year, and we talked about throughout
Right.
the River Cruise month that we had all about
Mhm.
that Amsterdam location that I had, which was great.
Experience,
So
yes.
this week I'm on travel. I'm actually up where I grew up in upstate New York. And just yesterday, my mom and aunt gave me a call asking me about some travel thing. And I was like, hey, why don't we just
Right.
go to lunch and finish this conversation? So we did. We went to one of
Mhm.
my favorite places from my youth and teenage years. And that was a place called The Harvest. If you're in the Glens Falls area, passing through for any reason whatsoever, maybe going up to Lake Placid where the Olympics were in 1932 and 1980, or just visiting the Adirondacks, make a stop off exit 19 of the Northway, that's I-87, and go to The Harvest. It is very unique pizza that I think you'll love. 8 out of
Sounds
8.
like a plan. We'll have to head that way. 8
8
out
out
of
of
8.
Yeah.
Guys, I think there's some nostalgia hit here, maybe, but I haven't eaten there
Possibly.
yet. So we're gonna give Ryan his 8 out of 8 because I think there's been a total of maybe this is number 4.
Yeah.
8 out of 8.
Probably the first one in North
So-
America, too.
Yeah, I 100% think this, except via Napoli
Yeah.
and
Yes.
in Epcot. Like
Yeah.
this is the only other 8 out of 8 we've done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
and
deal.
and you're probably right. I am probably grading with a curve here, yes, because of the nostalgia. But
Guys, I think somebody needs to go try it out just to see if Ryan's actually
that's right. That's right.
actually,
All right.
unbiased opinions.
So we hit pause a few minutes ago, and Stephanie's like, "Hey Ryan, you said this was a celebration of beer. When are we going to talk about actual beer on this trip?"
Let's talk
And
about beer.
I should mention that AmaWaterways is actually bringing on a brewer. He's actually from Canada. Sam
Yeah.
Corbell, his name is. He'll be on the
Okay.
cruise and he'll be leading tastings as we go through these different regions. And in some of the ports, there will actually be some beer tasting. Now,
Mm.
but I know people, especially the river cruise crowd, loves their wine. So I thought it was really
Right.
important that we talk about biking through vineyards and going on the gondola and trying the Riesling
Sure.
and all those things. But now we are
Sure.
in Düsseldorf and Cologne. The ship is going to
Beer
dock.
country.
Yes, the ship is going to dock in Dusseldorf, and most people are going to take an excursion to Cologne. Everybody has the opportunity
Okay.
to do that. Cologne is home to the most amazing church. It's in all the
Hmm.
photographs. If you are going to look at the marketing materials for a Rhine River cruise, there is no
It
way
has this.
that they're skipping over a picture of this church. Like
Mhm.
20,000 people visit it per day. If you
Mm.
talk to anybody that's been to Cologne, they went to this church. So anyway, what's neat about the church from a historical perspective is that Cologne as a city would have been a target for the Allied forces during World War II, but they did not shoot down or bomb the church because it had these tall, beautiful spires that actually helped the airmen with location. So they knew where they were for navigation.
Ah,
So it lives on not because of its beauty, but because of its grandness. So
yes.
that's the deal with that.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned beer. Yes, Cologne
Mhm.
is the home to Kolsch beer. And ask them
Right.
about it. They are proud of Kolsch beer. So you ask them, it's the best beer in the world. You need to try it for yourself and register your vote. But like I mentioned, you're docking in Dusseldorf. Dusseldorf is the rival
Right.
city to Cologne. And guess what? They've got their
Mm.
own beer. It's called Alt beer. So you need to have the
Alts.
Alt beer in Dusseldorf and the Kolsch beer in
Mhm.
Cologne. You need to try them both, register a favorite, and decide which city you're going to piss off. Another cool thing about Cologne is if you see like a picture of the cathedral, there's also usually a bridge in the foreground. And that
Mhm.
bridge is one of those places in Europe that is really well known for having the
Mhm.
locks put on them. Like a couple will
Right.
go, they'll purchase the lock, they'll write their initials on it, they'll lock it on the
Sure.
bridge, and then they're going to
Mhm.
throw the key into the Rhine River
Into the Rhine.
to seal your love is eternally locked or whatever. So this is a
Right.
place where that happens a lot. So it's like the capital for that kind of thing. So that's that.
Interesting.
And then unfortunately, as we finish up with Dusseldorf and Cologne, we're at the last port, Amsterdam. But the good news is we have an overnight in Amsterdam. So
Which is very interesting. I really like that about this itinerary. Most people are just back and you have to get off the ship. And if you want to spend some more time in Amsterdam, you have to get a hotel room and
yeah,
plan some stuff to do, but not with
yeah.
this.
And if you do want to extend your trip, I think Amsterdam is an incredibly
Absolutely.
interesting place. The main excursion here that probably most people are going to do is the canal cruise. I don't know. I
Hmm.
have a thing about getting off a boat and getting on another boat. Like
On
it's
another
kind of
boat.
like a weird thing mentally. I have a hard time doing it. But canal cruise in Amsterdam, where they have all these little locks in this city that is totally reclaimed land, it's below sea level.
Hmm.
So these locks are hugely important to move the water around. That's the iconic thing to do. But if you've already done one because you've been to Amsterdam
Right.
before, or you're having this feeling like me, I don't want to get off the boat and on another boat, you can also do a taste of Amsterdam. And I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
Amsterdam has their
Sign
snacks
me up.
locked down. They got stroop waffles, they've got cheese, they've got these little mini pancakes that they dust with Nutella and other things.
Oof.
It's like a dream, the tastes there. But they also have pickled
Hmm.
herring, and it's not for
Nah.
me, folks. Not for me. So we're talking about beer. Did you know that Heineken is from Amsterdam?
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's going to make this trip even more special, and that is AmaWaterways and just
Yeah.
being on this brand new AmaWaterways ship.
Yeah, that's right. The ship's gonna still have the new ship smell still. Stephanie, you can register your opinion on this, but I always say that every river cruise line is a luxury experience.
Hmm.
That's the baseline, and then it's just about the
Right.
levels. So
Yes.
I consider AmaWaterways to be premium. It is not entry level river
Right.
cruising, and it's also
No.
not tuxedos for dinner. It is in the middle,
Exactly.
super comfortable.
Hmm.
The thing that when you think about their
High level
vibe,
of service, but not stuffy.
right?
Right.
The vibe is their lounge is meant to make you feel like you're in a living room, like you're just sitting down,
Yes. Exactly.
and yeah. So I think that's from a vibe perspective, that's what you can feel. It's comfortable and you're among your people.
Right. And you will be, because everybody becomes friends very quickly on
That's right.
these itineraries and on these AmaWaterways ships. There's just
Yeah.
not so many people, so you get to know everyone.
Yeah. Food and drink is always super important to me. So we should talk about what that looks like on a Waterways ship. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. People are going to want to know about the drinks. So here's the
Yes.
deal with the drinks. AmaWaterways includes mimosas in the morning, beer and wine at lunch and
Yes.
dinner. There are 32 different wines over the course of a 7-night cruise. They do not
Wow.
have 24/7 alcohol available for free,
Right.
but it's pretty cheap. So you don't
It's
have to worry
not,
about
yeah.
that. Yeah. It's not like going to a cocktail bar in New York City and paying $25 for a
Right.
cocktail. That's not what we're doing. It's not a profit center for
No.
the river cruise companies.
No. Not
And
at
you can also bring drinks on. You can bring on liquor, you can
all.
bring on whatever. So if you stop in Rüdesheim and you really fall in love with the Riesling wine, just bring it on board. There's no
Right.
corkage fees or anything like
Exactly.
that. So that's great.
No. There's
They also,
also coffee machines in the rooms and this big coffee cappuccino machine that is out more in the lobby area. And it is also completely included. My favorite tip about this is if you're worried about alcohol pricing, just add some stateroom credits and you can use that for your alcohol throughout the trip. But it
that's
really,
right.
the pricing on the drinks when they're not included, which is just a few hours, is not bad at all.
Yeah, and don't forget, you're going to have the mimosas, you're going to have beer and wine with lunch and dinner, soft drinks
Right.
are included throughout.
Mhm.
And then there's also, in this
Right.
particular itinerary, you're going to have some beer tastings. And
Yes.
most of the ports have some sort of drink experience as well. So you're going to have
Right.
plenty of that.
Sure.
The food,
Yep.
Stephanie, the food is freshly sourced, even in
It's amazing.
November.
Yeah.
If they can't get
Yep.
it from the local ports or whatever, they can get it from the Azores, the Canary
Mhm.
Islands, and stuff like that. So freshly
Yes.
sourced, even in November. They will accommodate any
Mhm.
dietary need. So if you're gluten-free or whatever,
Yes.
we just tell them ahead of time.
Any
Because
allergies? Yep.
yeah, they can take care of that. So really great food and drinks. We talked about the cruise managers before when we were talking
Absolutely.
about the narration, but Stephanie, we talked about all these excursions that are included. And the thing that's cool about on
Right.
Waterways is that you can pre-select, but you don't have to.
Sure. Right. Or you can pre-select and then change your mind. Because one thing
Yes.
that happens that's very interesting is the cruise managers come out at cocktail hour and they tell you about the excursions the next day. And they tell you what the weather's going to be like. And they remind you that the bikes are not motorized.
And that the wind's going to be blowing in your face
No, that
and
was
it's going to be raining. And
right.
then,
It's going to be, snowing outside.
yeah. And Ryan, who has signed up for a 15-mile bike between the ports or bike ride between the ports, has
Right.
decided he will go ahead and do
Nope.
the walking tour instead.
Exactly.
Yes.
But the great thing about that is in the morning, you just get up, and when you're getting ready to head out for excursion, you just tell them what excursion you want to do. You grab your little colored card and you join your group. And it's really easy to switch around what you want to do. They always have plenty of guides available once you get off the ship. I don't think we had any excursion that was
Less than amazing.
overbooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And
Yeah.
always amazing. Yeah. Another thing beyond the excursions that we really loved about AmaWaterways was the cultural exchange, because some nights the entertainment, not every night, but a few times during this sailing, they're going to bring on local entertainment to perform for us after dinner. And it just adds that special touch to the experience on board these AmaWaterways ships.
Yeah, and that is a differentiator because not all the river cruise lines are going to do this.
They do
So,
not.
yeah, so some
Right.
just have a very simple entertainment or might just have turn DJ on or whatever. So, this is a
Piano,
really
DJ,
cool
yeah.
way. It's important when people do river cruising, it's about the immersion in the place. So, whenever you can bring the place onto the ship for that period of time where you're going from place to place, it just makes the immersion that much better. So, I think that's a really important aspect of the overall trip.
Next week, Pizza Pals, we are talking about one of the most amazing places on Earth, the Galapagos.
Specifically, my September 2027 adventure with National Geographic Lindblad Expeditions.
So if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast.
And for more travel ideas, destination guides, and the occasional pizza preference, occasional, always, visit extracheese.fun and subscribe to our weekly newsletter.
All right, Ryan. Are you going back to the Harvest tonight for dinner?
The reality is that when I asked my mom if we could go to the Harvest for lunch, she's like, "Aren't we doing pizza tomorrow?" And so I was like, "Yeah, but who are you talking to?" Of course, you can do pizza. I can do pizza 2 days in a row. So anyway, it's a different pizza place for dinner tonight. And if you want to know all about that, you're going to have to come next week. Well, I'll be talking about Mandy's during the Krusty review.
All right. Pizza Pals will hope you join us next week as we head to the Galapagos. Until then, keep traveling the world.
One slice at a time.
Bye.
Bye.